Loading. Welcome to Access the Animus.
Hey everyone, and welcome to a new video here on Access the Animus. A quick video today as the notes for update 1.5.0 for Assassin's Creed Valhalla have been released a few hours ago, and there's some interesting elements to discuss in there, along with some long-awaited fixes. So in this video we're going to go through the main elements of the patch so that you can know what to expect tomorrow when it releases. So title update 1.5.0 will be released tomorrow on all supported platforms at 1 PM CET, 7 AM EST, etc. for a size that ranges from 3 to 15 gigabytes. Of course, the main element of the patch will be the support that will be added for the Dawn of Ragnarok DLC that is going to be released on March the 10th, and we've already discussed the DLC a lot and still have a video planned, so we'll spare you the basics about it. But the notes are adding some minor news about it, so we can mention that there's going to be a function that will upgrade new players to power level 340 in order to play the DLC, and that function will be available in the main menu and will be called Player Boost. While we also know that there's going to be 3 new tiers of upgrade for gear and weapon, the new divine quality for the enhancement of the item that we already talked about, a new slot for the so-called Odin runes, and now we also know that there's going to be 4 new abilities and 6 new skills, some of which we already showed you in our videos, and of course there's going to be new weapons and armor sets. The notes are also mentioning some new fixes added to the stealth system. So the addressed issues that are mentioned here are the AI reaction to whistle that is now being improved, players being detected by enemies when using environmental traps that shouldn't happen anymore, wild animals detecting Eivor regardless of the distance and alerting nearby NPCs that happens a lot in the game, so hopefully that's not gonna happen anymore, the enemy detection cones reducing when using a bow, which also could be pretty annoying, and even more. The notes also feature a section fully dedicated to gameplay, and it starts by mentioning that there's going to be a new Saga difficulty mode, which is actually a lower difficulty level, which in terms of combat will make it so that enemies will inflict less damage and don't scale with players. And in terms of stealth, it will allow more time to perform actions like assassinating, shooting, disengaging and more before being detected by the guards. Some more settings concerning combat will also be added, such as a setting dedicated to how much damage Eivor can take, or the damage output that Eivor can produce, the healing ratio for rations, the regeneration for the adrenaline, and an enemy health modifier, which might be pretty welcome, especially for fans that aren't too much into combat or prefer to dispose of enemies as soon as possible. There's also going to be some more general fixes regarding gameplay, and we suggest you check the full list to see if there's any entry that might concern your specific playthrough. And lastly, there's the classic list of fixes that have been added for quests, world events and side activities, and while some of them are pretty relevant, especially considering that they are about main story quests, this also does bear the question as to why are there issues being fixed more than a year after the release. The most relevant one is probably the one about the A Brewing Storm quest, which is the one where you fight Dag and pretty much opens up to the game's ending, and that a lot of players, even recently, have been complaining about not being able to finish the game. But there's so many more that concern the DLCs, the crossover, the free game modes, including the Mastery Challenge, which had a bug that didn't allow to partake in the activity at all after the first cutscene. Well, anyway, the patch is going to release tomorrow, so not too much time until we can check all these new fixes and features. But until then, thanks for watching and keep your eyes on the channel in the coming hours and days. We're going to share more content in the lead up to Dawn of Ragnarok, so yeah, as usual, we'll see you in our next video.